Let's get insights on the latest inflation data and other hot issues. We'll be speaking with Manny Ocampo. He's the president and COO of the Investment and Capital Corporation of the Philippines. Good morning, Manny. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning.
Now, Manny, what are your thoughts on the latest July inflation data?
July was a good month for us. I think we saw, the good effects of declining prices of utilities in general and the continued decline of food prices. So, that has really benefited, shall we say, the Filipino consumer, and therefore you have inflation coming in at a 6-year low, pretty much. On this one, lowest that we've seen for a bit of time already.
Now, Manny, what do you think drove inflation last month?
Oh, okay. Really, the reduction was utilities, Robert, and food prices. Rice continued to come down, and that's a big component of our inflation basket.
Do you expect this trend to continue in the coming months?
Okay. For August, maybe we throw a bit of caution, and that is really due to the floods that we had in late July. And, we may not be as lucky as far as the inflation uptick or the numbers may be concerned, no? When we start figuring out inflation for this month of August, because the impact of shall we say, the crops getting destroyed because of flooding and all that, and therefore a rise in vegetable and maybe, hopefully not too much on rice, but we may see an uptick in inflation for this month of August. Probably.
Based on the latest data, do you think we're heading towards deflation, and is it something we should be concerned about?
No, I think no, we're far away from deflation. If anything, we probably will see an uptick in inflation for August. September, October will, maybe we'll start seeing prices to rise in anticipation of the Christmas spending season. So we'll, this is the par for the course about this time of the year anyway. No? So as long as inflation stays within the targets of the government, I think we should end the year pretty much below the government's target, because we've come up with really lower inflation numbers than expected for the past few months. Robert.
Having said that, what's your inflation outlook now for August and the rest of the year? What factors do you think will influence it?
Sure. We probably will stay within the 2% target of the government. So I don't think we should be surprised if we have an uptick in August, September to about 1.4, 1.5%. That's again, that is par for the course. This time of the year, there's usually an uptick, and as long as it stays within those levels below 2%, we should be okay.
Now, how would you assess President Marcos Jr.'s latest SONA? Was it sound in direction and substance?
Well, frankly speaking, we were maybe hoping to see more in terms of the government's pump priming activities for infrastructure projects in particular. Support for manufacturing is something we've always needed as a country, and that wasn't quite there. We were also hoping that again, maybe addressing the elephant in the room, the tariff situation. The tariff itself, was not too bad, but shall we say, food exports to the United States are one of those commodities or categories that will feel the full impact of the 19% tariff rate. So maybe the president or his trade team could have negotiated for better terms on our food exports, Robert.
Manny, besides the tariff, you were mentioning you were hoping for more. Now, what other issues or sectors do you wish he focused more on?
Well, I'll name maybe four that there was very light or very, not or even nothing said. No, one would be energy. We continue to be, a country that will, because of growth rates, because of growth that we will have, we continue to be running at a deficit on power, and that becomes felt during the summer months. And 2026, if all goes well, for economic activity, I think we'll start feeling a bit of the deficits for energy in next year. No, education was maybe another area that we wanted to hear more from the president, but nothing there. There was some mention about healthcare support, which is good, but again, maybe some more. Infrastructure is something we are in dire need of, and that is something which really the government would pump prime and maybe lead the way ahead of private sector. So that is maybe another area that we wanted to see the president mention. Maybe encourage foreign investments in these categories, because maybe locals are not, are stepping up to their limits already on investable funds.
You're mentioning encouraging foreign investments and local investments. Now, going back to the tariffs, how will Trump's 19% tariffs affect the country's economy?
Frankly speaking, it's not a bad deal. I think when you go down to the to the nitty-gritties of things, the 19% tariff will only affect about a third of our exports. We will continue to benefit on practically on exempt tariffs on semiconductors, which is a big export that we have to the government. We are net positive also as far as services exports to the United States is concerned. So your BPOs and all that remains to be, that remains, we're ahead on that one relative to our terms of trade with the United States. No, maybe we could negotiate for better terms on food exports, because that is still a big export to the United States, and we hope to get maybe better terms. So if the country, if the trade team were to negotiate on anything, maybe focus on our food exports to the United States.
Now, man, how would you rate the president's performance so far?
It is okay, but could be a lot better. Maybe let me say that much. In the State of the Nation address, he did mention addressing corruption. That words are there, statements are there. We hope that he will really act on it. That they will really work on addressing and minimizing or reducing corruption, if not totally eliminating it. He started to do that. Heads started to roll in some areas, particularly on the infrastructure side, where you had flood control programs that really clearly were not working, and people responsible for these programs are now getting axed. So that's, to my mind, that's a positive step in the right direction. We could do more in that respect, and by doing that, he maybe improves his credibility also with the Filipino people. No, now, holding people accountable. I think that was that's something he needs to do a lot better as well.
And Manny, if you could give Manny, and if you could give the president one piece of advice today, what would it be?
Okay. Well, maybe one thing that President Marcos has been, could do better on is acting as the salesman of the country. And because he is the head of the country, and he should really be the the number one salesman for the country in terms of selling the Philippines to foreign investors, and the like, as far as maybe investments are concerned in the Philippines. And with investments, hopefully there will be employment generation, and that redounds to the benefit of everybody else. Robert?
Okay, thank you, Manny, for joining us this morning. Thank you for your insights.
Thank you also, Robert.